What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew Lynn. Thank you for checking out Journey Soup. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about inventory placement. So this is for you wholesale guys, but I also want to talk a little bit about Amazon. But before I do that, if you guys like my content, please subscribe down below. It just really helps me grow my channel and reach a bigger audience so I can keep making videos for you guys. So as you guys probably know, or you may not know, but there's 3 different ways to sell on Amazon. I guess there's technically more than that, but there's 3 main ways to sell on Amazon. The first being retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, where you're actually going to a store or you're ordering from like Target online, you're shipping it to your house. You actually have to box everything up and then send it into Amazon. So you got to see the product. There's more work. There's more cost involved. A lot of times you have to pay tax on stuff. Now what you can do though is you can actually send it to a prep center in like Delaware, I think, is Washington. There's certain ones that are tax-free, and sometimes if the product's over a certain amount, they'll actually pay for the product. The money you save will actually pay for the product to then get packaged up so you don't have to see it. So that's a way you could do it if you guys live out of the country or something like that. But what I recommend is doing wholesale, because with online arbitrage and retail arbitrage, you can actually get your account shut down. I've seen it happen to a lot of people, but I also know a lot of people have done it without having an issue. So kind of do it at your own risk. I did it for 2 years without an issue, and I think it's a great way to learn and to just kind of like play with Seller Central, so you kind of get the feel of how things work. You're also packaging things up yourself, so you really kind of understand the how it all works, and you can just buy a few products, but be careful, you can get your account shut down. The next way is wholesale. This is the way I recommend. I'll put a link to Bo Crable's course down below, but this has completely changed my life as far as I went from doing like $5,000 in sales, not even like 3 or 4. I mean, at points in the years past, I did more than that. But what I'd always do is I'd do arbitrage before I'd go travel. So I'd build up and I'd get a whole bunch of sales and I'd sell for like 3 months, but then I'd be traveling. And then by the time I get home, I started from scratch. So now what I'm doing is wholesale, where I'm actually buying from a supplier, and I buy way more units. I'm sending pallets of units to Amazon. I never see the product. I don't have to touch anything. I can actually do this business model from anywhere in the world, which is why I chose it. And I think it's the least risky. So let's say you have $1,000 and you buy $1,000 in product and it does go sour. Let's say you're hoping to get a 30-40% ROI and it ends up getting all the way down to negative 10%. And it's not normally going to get any more than that unless you made a bad buy and you weren't doing your product research, because with wholesale you're getting it so cheap that it can't go too much lower. It just can't. So let's say you lose 10%, which is the worst I've lost is around 8%. And so let's say you lose 10%, you're losing $100. Well, that's very different than, let's say, private label, where you're going to China and you're manufacturing your own good. You got to buy all this stuff. You got to pay for the shipping here. You got to then pay to try to push it out there and for PPC campaigns and all these things. So you have all this money invested and you don't know if it's going to sell. And this is why I think wholesale is so much better, because you're buying brand name products that already are selling. You can look on there. You can be like, this has been selling for 2 or 3 years. It's sold about this much. You know, and so you can make an educated decision. Where private label, you need to really know what you're doing ahead of time. You need to understand the market that you're going for. You got to understand PPC. You got to be able to do HTML description. So I guess you don't have to do that, but you should. You got to have good photography, which is going to cost money unless you're going to do it yourself. Which you got to have lifestyle photos, which also costs extra. You got to then get a trademark and then brand register that trademark. Otherwise, you're going to get counterfeiters from China. I'm actually working with a brand right now, and they have more counterfeiters than you could ever imagine. And it's the exact same product. It's just they do a little bit different design, but China doesn't care. They will sell your same product to anybody else who will buy it. So that's why I think it's risky. But I don't hate private label. I'm actually working on 4 different products at the moment that I'm going to be releasing. It's all in the same niche. And I've just looked through so many products and I can see that there's almost no competition for this. There's lots of sales. It's kind of a weird product. So all the products are like in the same type of thing, but they're just slightly different. But the main product of that is I'll be buying from one whole supplier and then packaging it up in different ways. So it's not like 4 completely different products. They are very similar. But who should do private label? That would be the question. So if you guys want to get into private label, the only reason I'd recommend doing private label is if you have a business already that already has a product and you know that sells and you want to drive more sales to it. Or if you actually, I mean, obviously, if you guys know how Amazon works, if you know how to get in there and do the product research and really look these things up, and you know and you've done it before, then I mean, obviously, there's something to be said for that. The other people are going to be people who have a business that you've already built an email list. You guys have contacts, or let's say you just have an audience. Let's say a YouTuber that has 20,000 subscribers. Yeah, you're a great candidate for private label because you can push that product and you can get your product ranking higher, and hopefully people trust in you and believe in what you're saying, and they will buy your product. And obviously, hopefully it pertains to them or what you are doing. So there are definitely reasons why you should do private label. I'm not so sure there's any reasons why you should do retail or online arbitrage anymore, but I obviously think wholesale is one of the best ways. And for you guys that are doing wholesale and you end up having to use inventory placement, I'm going to go ahead and jump into this now. But what this is going to do for you is if you have to split your shipment up to like 4 warehouses, Amazon will be like, or 3 or 2, they'll be like, oh, you need to send these units here, these units there, and you're like, that kind of looks dumb to some suppliers. They don't understand it or why they would have to do that. So some of them are going to say, no, we're not going to do that. We want it all to go to one place. So I'm going to actually show you guys right now. So let's jump into here. So here's my Seller Central. I should probably block out my name. But you guys can see here, I'm at like $21,000 this month. I just did a week ago, I did like 10,000. You can see 13,000 some. My sales are really declining because I actually had I had a huge pallet and they put the labels, somebody else's labels on my pallet, and then they put my labels on somebody else, so it got sent out and then had to get sent back, and now it's finally going out. So I just have a ton of money wrapped up right now. Otherwise, I probably should have hit $30,000 in sales this month. But what you guys are going to do is you're going to come up to settings. You're going to go to fulfillment by Amazon. Let this load. Taking a while. All right, so you're going to see optional services, inbound settings. So this inbound settings is the one we're going to want. So we're just going to go to edit. And then right up here, we're going to go to inventory placement service. And then we're going to hit update. And now, guys, when you actually make your shipment plan is going to send it all to one warehouse. And there will be, I believe it's a 30-cent fee per unit. So, I mean, normally I'm trying to make a few bucks. So if I have to do it, I will do it. If I don't have to do it, obviously I won't. Hopefully you get lucky and Amazon will send it all to one place. But I've really noticed it depends on where you're sending it from. So I have one supplier where it always gets like all grouped up and sent to one place. And then I have another supplier that it gets split up every single time. And of course the supplier that it gets split up every time is the one that does not like that. So I use this inventory placement all the time. So guys, I hope that helps. I hope you learned a little bit of something. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. You guys can, I'll put my email too down below in the descriptions. But if you guys want to get started with wholesale and start selling on Amazon, then I definitely recommend Bo Crable's course. And if you sign up through that link, you get the added benefit of working with me. I will give you my personal information. And then, if you guys have any questions, you guys can hit me up pretty much anytime. I really just enjoy helping people. I've always been a teacher. So I taught like ballroom Latin for 6 years and taught people photography, videography, all different types of things. So I really enjoy it. So once again, guys, if you like my content, please subscribe down below and we'll talk to you soon. And definitely hit me up with those questions or let me know what you guys want to see next. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Later.